what to play now for black.
That's right. So what are Anand's most obvious options here? What is, do you think, his safest option at this point of time?
You know, here probably if he changed this knight on e4, he will lose this square on d5 in the positional advantages for sure on the white side. Nice thinking.
For a change, Anand in very deep thought now. We saw that happen to him, I think, in the 25th move yesterday, and but already in the match, it's only about 45 minutes old, and Anand is in deep thought on his 10th move, so let's see what happens. All right, let's get to your opponent in this quarterfinal, Gata Kamsky. What do you think are, or is his major strength?
He's a good fighter. He's one of these guys who just sits there and works. I think what's amazing about that. A lot of people, in very bad positions, a lot of people get discouraged very easily. They start to make mistakes. But this guy is very constant. He's sitting down, fighting and fighting and fighting. And you really have to work hard to put him away. And that's, I think, his main strength.
Now, if I get my figures right, I think you have a 6-win, 1-draw, 1-loss record against Kamsky. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
So does that indicate anything here?
Yes and no. It's relevant, but you can't decide the match on that basis. It's relevant. It's clear that I'm generally quite happy playing it, but players are changing all the time. To some degree, you can't compare me to the player I was 4 years ago, and it's clear that he's also developing. He's quite young, so at this stage he develops quite fast, and let's see how the match goes.
All right, let's also talk about ELO ratings now. You are at what now? 2725?
Yeah, last time I checked.
All right, and he's a touch below you. So is that also indicative of what people may generally expect from a match?
Yes, I think if you compare our results, it's clear that I'm a little bit ahead of him. But it's not always indicative. It could sometimes the ratings generally reflect a bias towards the older player. The younger player has to catch up, and he's starting from a lower base point already. But on the other hand, it's also easy for the young players to catch up, so I don't think that's a problem there.
Alexander, slightly interesting position here. 16th move by Kamsky is rook to d1, and would you consider this an advantage for one player or the other?
Well, in this position, if I must say whose advantage is here, I suppose that Kamsky has some advantages here.
There's the move, Alexander, just when we were talking about it.
Wow, fantastic move, fantastic move. Wow, g5. Well, I have to think what does it mean. He sacrificed another pawn. This is surprise. This is colossal surprise.
Alexander, let's get back to that g5 move by Anand. As you said, it seems to have shocked Kamsky. He's still in deep thought.
Yeah, first of all, please excuse me, because my estimation a few minutes ago, it wasn't correct. Because I didn't see this move. This is not only excellent move, but this is not a normal move. And the proof is that Mr. Kamsky is surprised also very much. Just look at him. He's thinking already 15 minutes. This is for him completely unexpected. And now what's going on? Before that, as I said, he has some advantages, but now it's opposite of that. I'm sure I will not make the mistake again. Now Anand has better position.
And that's
maybe much better position.
That's amazing. But what options do you think Kamsky has right now?
This is something unbelievable, such a move. Look at Kamsky. The surprise for him is at all. Well, he attacked the queen. The queen is in a trouble here, and at least the black will gain 2 pieces for a rook. And as I can see now in this position, after that the black's position must be better.
All right, let's see how it goes. Thank you, Alexander. Alexander, what have we here? Lots of exchanges. Anand took 2 pieces for the loss of his rook. So what's going on?
Yes, now the material is in black's favor. Anand he has 2 knights for a rook. And I think if he changed the queens, I mean black, if he changed the queens, he's sure better, because white is after that without chances at all. So his only chances, I mean white, only chances to try to attack black king.
Okay, now we were talking about maybe a queen position change, but Anand chose instead to use his knight to take one of the pawns, Kamsky pawns. Do you think that was the right move at this point in time?
Well, I believe in him. I believe in him. When he follows such a wonderful move, unexpected, yeah. Now it's very important to estimate this position. Two knights against a rook, okay, that's clear. But what's about these attack chances for white? Maybe the position is under the control. I mean, this attack is not so dangerous for black. And it means, shortly saying, it means that Anand has very good chances now.
Well, let's see what he does. Alexander, here they are, the two of them, Vishwanathan Anand, as you said, with that rook, with a queen exchange. Do you think he's come out on top?
Anand succeeded. And now, after he changed the queens, now he has a quite clear position. He has two knights for rook, equal pawns, and that is question of technique only, nothing else.
Well, yes, we have some very quick moves coming up now, because Kamsky particularly is in a bit of trouble. He has only 13 minutes left and he has to do, go for 16 moves.
Yeah, and time is also, well, he has, there you are right, he needs 16 minutes still for 1 hour, no, less, for just 30 minutes.
That's right.
Just 30 minutes. But, well, Anand, as usual, he has, may I see that, it is 48 minutes?
48 minutes.
There's big differences. Now, well, I have the impression that Kamsky a little bit lost his nerves. He moved his last salon was very quick, and he isn't enough caution now. Maybe, I suppose this G5 shocked him. As myself also.
So at this point of time, you think that maybe the black is in a considerably stronger position?
This is quite sure, no doubt at all. This is I said it is a question of time, just question of time. Bravo.
Alexander, we're on the 55th move now, and surely we're reaching somewhere towards the end of play. Anand earlier seemed to have a very good position, but you think that he has lost some ground here?
I'm quite sure that he could win very easy this game. Pity, and this great surprise that he didn't play in the best form. Now we must say that he can't win anymore in this position. It's probably draw.
Despite
such a good game, in the end he made probably several mistakes, and now we can see how he can improve this position, how he can win this.
This is despite the fact that he is one piece up and one pawn up.
Well, he's trying still. So
some rapid moves going on. Do you think there's any possibility now?
Yes, now he gave the pawn back. Now
possibly a novelty to me, and now the fight goes on for the square d5. Black has a problem with his bishop on e7 and he tries to get rid of it, so I think there will be a deep middle game. Jörg, do you think anybody has a better position at this point of time? It's difficult to say. After 7 moves it's completely in progress and it should be maybe about equal. What about your views on the location of Sanghi Nagar? Are you happy with what you see around you?
Yeah, it is also a special place. I would say very interesting just to see. I had some kind of how to call it, excursion there, around this place, and I've been in this church, which is very interesting, really.
Is there a manner by which you could describe your style of play? Define your style of play.
No, it is difficult because I'm quite young yet, and so I even don't know which is my style. I think it will be easier to describe it in 10 years maybe, when I'll have some experience. But now, I try to play universal chess. I mean, if position needs some active play, I play active. If position needs some defense, I play defensive. So that's what I'm trying to do. But actually, it is difficult to explain now because in big chess, I'm only 2-3 years. So.
I think we are on a real critical point of the game. White managed to get through with f4, and he controls a lot of squares in the center, and he threatens maybe an attack on the king with queen f3 followed by maybe f5 or something. And now black has to decide whether to go for d5 to block out the light squared bishop of white, or to play for f5 with king h8. I think the ending after queen g4, queen c2, and then the exchange on g2 favors white. He controls more squares in the center and has the bishop pair.
Let's just go back a bit now and find out more about Gelfand's current form and how well he thinks he has prepared for the championship.
I hope so. I did my best to do it, so I can say that I did maximum possible.
How much time have you had clear for preparing for the quarters?
Just for this since beginning of June, but generally I thought a lot about this and did some preparation when the pairing was made.
What would you consider your recent form to be like? Are you in top form?
I don't know. I hope I have to show that I'll show good games here, but we can never say it before the...
A slightly better game on this board today. I mean, yesterday we drew after what, only 14-15 moves.
Yes. Today, it was Gelfand who had white, and he had to try a little bit because for me Kramnik was the favorite, and when Gelfand doesn't score with white, he has no chance at all. This is what I thought before. So yeah, he did his best, and I think Kramnik made a little bit wrong when he played queen d7. But
what about this move, the pawn?
Yeah, he played before. You have to calculate if f6 is possible now, but I don't think so. Maybe it gives chances, but this is difficult when you have 18 minutes to calculate. This costs a lot of time, so just go for the easy way and play something like c4 or so.
Alright, so in a nutshell, what are we doing here? Heading for a draw?
Easiest way, yeah.